Emily, I have to tell you something. You are the first person to hear about this important thing.
What's up? Don't scare me, please.
Oh, don't make such a fuss. I just want to share my joy with you. Actually, I'm already married.
What? You are married.
Yes, right. I'm married.
Wait, so are you married now? Preparing to get married? Or get married? That's surprising to me.
Of course, already married. Actually, I really wanted to tell you a long time ago, but I had a lot of things to deal with. That's why I kept it until now. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'm really glad to hear that you're getting married. Wish you and your husband all the best for 100 years of happiness. Hey, let's celebrate with a single party.
Thank you. You are my only best friend. My husband and I have engaged but have not held a wedding yet. We are planning to have a wedding soon. You will definitely come to our wedding, right?
Of course, I will definitely come. Has it been scheduled yet? Let me know when it's all done.
Yes, we've already booked the restaurant. We looked at many restaurants and finally chose the best one. Our wedding will take place in 2 weeks.
Wow, time flies.
Yes, of course, the wedding must be held as soon as possible, or my husband will regret it.
You are so kind. He seems to have picked up a treasure. How can he regret it?
Actually, my husband is divorced, so his family will not be at our wedding. We'll only invite our loved ones.
Oh, what a pity.
Hope you can come. Please don't miss this most special moment of my life.
Believe me, no matter how busy I am, I will definitely go.
I believe you. Don't break your promise. If you don't go, I will be very upset.
When I made a promise to you, of course, I won't break it. I can't wait for your wedding invitation. Mildred, what the hell is going on here? Why are you marrying my ex-husband?
Are you shocked to see him? Not only you, but even Edward is shocked.
I want to ask you something. How did you meet Edward? He is my ex-husband. He suddenly disappeared 2 years ago. I had no choice but to divorce in despair because I couldn't find him. I've been looking for him for a long time. Now he is starting a new family with you, my best friend.
You are so naive. If he didn't know anything at that time, do you think he suddenly disappeared?
Mildred, I have told you before. At that time he lied to me, asked me to guarantee him. So I foolishly signed and owed a few million. On my birthday, I came home from work earlier and just wanted to have a small birthday party with him. I couldn't believe that he and his luggage were gone. I called him 1,000 times and searched for help from relatives and friends, but still could not find anything. A life of crisis followed as I was constantly chased by his debts. How I managed to get to this point, you can't imagine.
Then what can you do? Blame me?
If I'm not fooled, do you think I'm stupid to sign it? I remember. I actually told you these things. So you planned for today, right?
Did you tell me these things yourself?
I told you about my tragic experience. You encouraged and comforted me. You told me everything would be fine. You knew that I've been looking for Edward. I lived a miserable life, and every single day seemed like a nightmare. You've obviously been by my side and witnessed all of this. When I heard that you planned to get married, do you know how happy I cheered for you? And now you marry Edward, my ex-husband.
Actually, Edward and I haven't seen each other recently. Or it can be said that we were together before he left you.
What? Are you kidding me?
Do you think I'm joking? Up to now, it has been almost 4 years since we fell in love.
How is that possible?
At first, when you two hadn't divorced, he promised me that he would marry me. He once said that spending his life with you was just an accident. Even if he had another chance, he would have chosen to love me.
Then why didn't he simply ask me for a divorce?
If Edward really asked you for a divorce, would you agree? You would definitely cry and make a fuss, right? We didn't want to complicate everything. Edward and I had been thinking about it for a long time. We came up with such a good idea. We are such geniuses, right? By this way, Edward didn't need to mention divorce. You would still choose divorce.
In other words, all of this is a game made by you two. You told me that I didn't need to persist. Choosing divorce is the best decision. Before, when you gave me advice, I really hesitated because I really didn't want to give up on him. You were the one who advised me not to go on like this, or else my life would always be in a deadlock. Then now you put me in a trap to choose divorce, and you can be with Edward.
Honestly, if you haven't written the divorce paper yet, then I'll never get the chance to marry Edward. So I really want to thank you for everything.
I'm so blind to think people like you as my soulmate. When I was being hunted down, I almost committed suicide. Until you showed up, I felt like I'd met the most reliable friend in my life. After all, you and my ex-husband betrayed and took advantage of me. Why did you do this to me?
Love stories can't be forced. If Edward didn't like you, why did you force him to stay with you? Edward and I have been truly in love, and you said that we are good friends. Oh, please don't make me laugh.
Are you kidding me? You invited me to your wedding just to watch me become an idiot.
What the hell are you thinking about? What do you want from this relationship?
Shut up. There's no reason to listen to the bullshit things you're talking about.
The years since you and I broke up, you haven't paid anything? How is that possible?
So, what do you want? Obviously, you were lacking money. Why should I help you pay?
But the deed was signed by you, right? You are my wife. Isn't it that you should help me pay off my debt?
What a brazen person you are. Do you still consider me your wife? Of course, a person who is in debt knows everything well.
What the hell are you doing? Why haven't you paid me for a few years? Emma is the one who told me that debt collectors have been coming to her house to force you to pay off your debt over the past few years. I think you have been all done with that debt.
Yes, they came to my house to see me. Seeing that you were not there, they asked me to pay off your debt.
Then why didn't you pay anything? Don't waste my time anymore. Tell me.
At first, they really forced me to pay. But then they heard about my situation and knew that everything I said was true. So, they didn't force me to pay anymore.
What? Are you kidding me?
Why do you think I can make fun of this? Unexpectedly, they are still human beings.
Impossible.
Of course, they can't tolerate someone like you who can't keep their promises. When they heard that you tricked me into signing the deed and then ran away, they all said you were unworthy to be a human.
How could this happen? Are they all immoral?
By chance, my old acquaintance was also among the debt collectors that day.
Why? Old acquaintances?
Do you remember that there was a time when my father also had a lot of debt, so I didn't have enough money to go to college? I worked so hard to earn money just to keep my mother from suffering. Unexpectedly, the person who came to collect the debt that day was the one who lent money to my father.
What?
In the beginning, they came to my house every week to collect his debt. When they saw how hard I worked every day to care for my mother, they showed me compassion and promised not to charge me high interest rates so that I could pay off my debt soon. When I made the last payment, I promised them that I would never be in debt again.
Loan sharking without interest? Impossible.
Yes, I couldn't believe it at that time. Perhaps it was because of my honesty, trustworthiness, and diligence to repay my father's debt, which made them sympathize with me. When you left without saying goodbye and they appeared again, I became desperate again. Their boss just glanced at me, then realized immediately that I had already paid off my father's debt.
Why? Did they still remember you?
After getting to the bottom of the matter, they agreed that they would not squeeze my debt. The repayment was guaranteed, but the debtor would have to take responsibility on his own. After they heard that you cheated on me to sign the deed and ran away, they told me that the deed signed by you hadn't been canceled, so they gave me a chance. They asked me to pay the principal within 3 years. If you didn't come back after 5 years, they would refund me half of the original amount I paid. If you returned, they would force you to pay the full amount of principal and interest. Of course, the entire principal amount I had contributed would be fully refunded.
What? They haven't canceled the deed I signed. You also contracted them a terrible conspiracy. Impossible!
If I found you, I wouldn't have to pay anything. And I also wouldn't be disturbed by them in the future. If I couldn't find you out, I would lose half the money. Of course, I don't want to be in trouble with a person like you.
You must have been tricked by those bad guys. They're trying to make a profit from both sides.
You think I'm such an idiot like you. The things they promised me were written clearly in black and white. Even if you didn't show up, I could afford to pay half of the debt.
What? You're just a student with only a high school diploma. How do you get the money?
What about high school graduation? After graduating from college, you still lived in debt, even letting your ex-wife clean up this mess for him. Ever since my father was heavily in debt, I had a habit of saving money. While everyone enjoyed themselves, I was still working hard. I have never been to a restaurant, even for new clothes. My current deposit is at least 500,000.
500,000? How could you have such a large amount of money?
Believe it or not, it's not my business. 2. I have told them your place. That deed might eventually be torn by them, and I finally won't have to help you with huge debts. Thanks for inviting me to the wedding.
Because of such things, you told them my place. That's why they came to my house early this morning. They took all the money Emma and I received at the wedding. Now we are penniless.
Really? What a pity. Just got married and have a lot of debt now. Keep trying harder. Hope you and your new wife will be happy for 100 years.
Wait,
You bastards! Edward and I became what we are because of your fault. Do you know how scary loan sharks are? They didn't just take away the wedding money we got. Even my savings were taken. They even know my company address and phone number.
You don't have to worry much. Even though they look scary, they're not the evil type like you. Paying off debt is not my business anymore. Just being able to pay off the debt?
Edward told me everything. If you didn't betray us, how would they know where Edward and I are? You are a devil. It was your fault.
Are you still ashamed to talk about betrayal? Aren't you the one who started first? In order to get out of debt, I really had to put a lot of pressure on my shoulders. Now you two want to put all the blame on me. What a shame.
Shut up! Without good looks and no academic qualifications, then what do you expect to have a good life? Edward and I finally started our happy life. Why can't you think of us for a bit?
You think I would be embarrassed just because I didn't go to college? I still think you are my best friend because you were there to encourage me, said it was okay if I didn't go to university. I really didn't expect you to be like that.
Best friends? Only trash like you can bring out my excellence and charm. Do you think I want to be close with you? Stop daydreaming.
Yes, you are all right. We're not friends anymore.
You've hurt us so much. I won't let this go. Already signed and still want to withdraw the debt. I tell you, I won't let this go easily.
The debtor was Edward. Why should I pay him? Because of your love. You became a part of his family. Why didn't you help him pay?
How dare you mention this? It's because of you that they all know our address. They're coming to see me and Edward to sign a new debt deed with them. At first, I didn't want to sign, but Edward knelt down with me. How could I refuse?
Didn't you say that Edward is the man you love most in your life? Love makes you two go through difficult times together, right? Anyway, you two have been together for a long time.
No matter how much I love him, I never thought that I would have to repay him. It's all your fault.
You have graduated from a prestigious university and are currently working in a big company. Shouldn't it be difficult, right? If you buy a few more branded bags every month, your economy must be embarrassed.
Although I work in a big company, I'm just a low-level employee. My salary is simply not enough to pay Edward's debts. I have not paid off my credit card. Where can I make money now?
Huh? I think college graduates make more money than high school graduates. My monthly salary is currently at least $80,000.
How is that possible? Your salary is double mine. 80,000 is a lot.
Sometimes it is more than 80,000. Looks like you were also brainwashed by Edward, so you think I don't earn enough.
You're probably lying to me. You're trying to piss me off, right? You didn't go to college? In high school, you were just trash. How can you earn twice as much?
Yes, perhaps in this day there are somebody's standstill value academic degrees. However, ability is actually the important one. As long as you work hard and believe in yourself, you will be able to find the opportunity to succeed. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I am currently also working in a famous company, and I've reached the management level. I have at least 20 people under me.
How can you be so good? There are still a lot of subordinates.
It's okay not to believe. It was true that I struggled to earn money before, but in the past 6 months, our team's performance has also been very good. In addition to travel abroad, I also received a large bonus.
Shut up!
I was hurt by a family, betrayed by my ex-husband and best friend. These encounters really made me feel hopeless. Fortunately, I had a determination to move forward. Even if I got hurt by you, I wouldn't give a fuck about it. Don't you love Edward so much? Then work hard, earn money, and use reality to prove your ability. I really look forward to your happy life. Within a few days, the loan sharks canceled the copper contract that I had signed before. After hearing the huge amount of money, Mildred was so scared that she sat on the ground speechless. Since they both cheated on me in their marriage, such an outcome was expected, right? To pay off the debt, Mildred quit her job and chose a dirty job. She appears in places of parties and sex. Edward originally wanted to repeat the old trick. He intended to leave Emma, but unexpectedly he was recognized. Then he was taken away by that group of people. No one knows where he is now. Of course, Edward is still alive, but he probably won't be able to come home for a while. Starting a new life of this couple makes me laugh so hard. Anyway, I'm grateful to be able to get rid of it all.